The specialization was led by two program directors, Fabian Vandenreydt and Gabor Dalnoki. Fabian is advisor of Abu Dhabi Global Market, and Gabor is head of service management at GIRO. They will be interviewed by Niha Roka, who's program manager on the specialization. We will have Fabian speaking from Belgium, Gabor from Hungary, and Niha from London. Up to you, Niha.
Thank you, Hui. And hello, everyone. It is lovely to be here at the event with you. And it is my pleasure to welcome both the program directors, Fabian and Gabor, to this virtual stage and hear from them. To begin with, Fabian, please can you introduce yourself, followed by Gabor.
Hello, I'm Fabian Vandenreydt, Senior Advisor at Abu Dhabi Global Market and Co-Program Director of the CFT Specialization Payments in Digital Finance.
Hello, my name is Gabor Dalnoki. I work at the Hungarian ACH GIRO, and I am also, along with Fabian, the co-program director of this fantastic new course, Payments in Digital Finance. Thank you for joining us today of the launch of this brand new group of courses.
Thank you very much. It's great to have both of you on board, and we'd like to hear more from both of you about how and why this course is relevant today and what is changing in the industry that has led to this. So my first question for you is, how and why is payments digitally transforming today? Fabian, if you'd like to go first.
Well, I think today we obviously live into an acceleration of everything that is digital because of the pandemic we're going through. But it's actually making things faster, but there's already a trend since some time in the adoption of digital payments, and there are many sources. I'm sure Gabor will add to that as well, but one of the sources, of course, the surge of e-commerce and the need for cheaper, faster, more integrated payments. There's also a lot of regulation that have been put in place in payment, leading to open banking, but also leading to instant payments. These are a few of those trends. Maybe Gabor can, of course, elaborate also on that in his role.
Yes, I agree. Nowadays, payments are undergoing an accelerating transformation, getting more and more complex at a speed that we have never seen before. And while payments are getting better by ever improving on its traditional metrics, the most important catalyst of this change is the digitalization of the economy of our lives. So when the advent of the smartphone in 2007 happened, this has fundamentally changed the expectations. It's always on, always connected, instant and everything. And that is also happening in our industry. And we are all familiar with this concept. So by now, the digitalization has touched almost every corner of the economy, and so payment is the main accelerator to this process. And also the technology become cheaper, more efficient, and more accessible and standardized. So how can it happen that still the cash is in the dominant payment methods in all over the world? So we are working on changing that.
Yeah, and of course we saw lots of initiative, and we see lots of initiative in every country adopting instant payments in Europe, in Asia, and all over the place. We see also initiative at continent level, like in Asia and in Europe. And I think the next wave also that is happening is everything that is related to international payment, which today still remains, let's say, less automated and slower than what you can achieve in domestic markets. And we see a lot of regulations, a lot of proposals coming from different bodies to improve international payments.
Thank you. That was very interesting insights. And we heard a lot about, a lot of changes happening in the industry right now and a lot of developments to come in the near future. So as program directors of the specialization, could you share a few words about why it's important for all of us to learn about payments right now? And Fabian, if you could share first.
Well, I think there's so many things happening, like we just said. And when we prepared the course with Gabor, we looked at all the different forms of payments, all the infrastructures, all the technologies, all the regulations. And we are both payments veterans, if I can use that word. And we were even overwhelmed by the quantity of new things that is happening every day and that you need to know. So we put ourselves in the shoes of people who either work in banks or in tech companies or regulators and are just interested to understand what's happening. You can't do that by just focusing on one aspect of payment. You have to have an overview of everything because everything is kind of linked to each other, the technology, the business model, the regulation. And yeah, if you want to be part of it, you need to understand all that. That's why that course is so welcome.
Yes, and I truly believe that the payments is one of the least covered discipline in the formal education. So earlier, you typically learned payments by doing it, and therefore we have seen very well educated people in this business, but mainly in older age. But with the speed of this development, what we are just living, then we have to focus also on the new possible methods, and payments is probably one of the most important service what we use every day. It let us get on with our everyday life, and there is one aspect, and the other aspect is that we also have people who do not really want to make payments. They just want to get it happen, and in order to serve them, to help their wish to happen, to make it invisible, frictionless, and hassle-free. Therefore, we try to help not only finance people, but also corporate people to get along with the new possibilities in payments.
Thank you. And it would be great to hear from you about the specialization itself. So in just a few sentences, if you could share about why someone should take this specialization curated by CFT and BIP.
They can expect breadth and depth of the content. It covers a lot of things and it covers them with appropriate depth. And it's also covered by people from the industry who actually work in payments every day. And I think that's what's making the difference.
Yeah, who starts to learn in this specialization, then they will be familiar the latest technologies applied in the payment industry, or the regulation landscape and the fast-changing business models. And this can be a basis for a digital transformation, which is building upon the new developments in payment industry.
Thank you. I think that gives us all quite a good insight into why we should learn about payments right now. And just to finish off this discussion, would you have any last words to share with our audience? Gabor, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah, so you never know what the future holds, but we definitely should aim to achieve more than what we think is possible. And we should definitely develop also the knowledge and the possibilities in payments. So after 13 years, the first iPhone was revealed. There's still a large gap between our expectations and what the payment industry delivers. You know, when we see what had happened in the telephony, that phone booths were along our high streets and now totally disappeared. We still have a very high number of ATMs operating and providing cash to people. So I think that payment industry will be succeeding when ATMs are also disappearing in the future.
Okay, thank you. And Fabian?
Well, yes, I mean, if you look at retail, wholesale is maybe different, but in retail, there's lots of talk about lifestyle banking, and lifestyle banking, of course, includes payment. It means that the payment is becoming part of your real life, of things you like to do and need to do. And the other word is ambient banking, and being a big fan of ambient music myself, One of the goals, of course, of Indian banking is that payment would be invisible, because they would be so ingrained in what you do that you wouldn't even see them. So whether we will see that and the disappearance of ATM, like Gabor is mentioning, it's a question mark, but we look forward to the evolution of payments, obviously.